welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I am Stacey Earlywine. And hey, have you ever had that moment right before the camera goes on that you're thinking, man, I hope I put a bra on? I'm tired today.
You're tired today.
I went through
You don't have it all together.
I know. What's funny though, okay, so this is real talk though. Do you remember when COVID was going on? Let's face it, when COVID was happening, none of us got dressed. For what, 3 months, 4 months?
I did. I got dressed every day and put my makeup on.
Are you kidding?
No.
I didn't. I barely got dressed. And then I remembered when I was going to be this is ridiculous. I'm going out to the farmer's market. I'm getting flowers. I don't care what the governor says. He can arrest me, right? So we're going out there, and I get out there, and I jump out of the car. I'm like, oh, did I put pants on?
Oh, my gosh, Stacey.
Yeah, I don't think I had pants on that entire time.
Oh, my gosh.
I pretty much was just bathed and put my jammies back on. You literally put your makeup on every day?
Yes, because if I don't, I get nothing done. If I want
COVID, you're not supposed to do it.
No, I still had 3 kids at home. I had meals to fix. I had laundry to do.
I forget about that.
I might be at home, but I'm working my butt off, okay? So
I was at home. I didn't do squat.
I had a lot to do every day. So, and it was all the kids were there the whole time, and that was 3 meals plus snacks plus cleaning the kitchen 25 times a day, all the laundry because everybody's there all the time.
I'm really glad when COVID hit, I was empty nested.
Yes.
That would be
awful. All the toys, putting up, bringing them out, dragging them out, putting them up, dragging them out. Art supplies all over the table, art supplies. Yeah. It was just constant stuff.
I still have that fear, though, of I'd be oh, gosh, I hate mornings. I hate mornings with a passion. And now we're getting into that dreary, we're recording today, and it's dreary outside, and I'm like, I just want to sleep all day.
Yeah. Plus, I homeschooled during that whole time, so I had to get up, put my face on, get my clothes on, make myself feel like I'm ready for my day, and then I can do whatever I need to do. But if I'm in my jammies and I don't have makeup on, I get nothing done. I
got nothing. I did get a lot of stuff done.
Did you?
I binge watched all the Marvels, all the DC. We did during COVID, we did a lot of painting. We painted the sunroom. I painted the upstairs bedroom. I did do it. I guess I did do because my gosh, it was. But I'm that type of person. When I start a project, I am not stopping till it's finished. So it's not who knows when we're going to come back.
Yeah.
And I'm nope, going to get it done right now. And then so we painted the sunroom in a day. We painted that upstairs bedroom in a day. I think I even painted the fence around my pool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I took down later.
That's good, though. I mean, at least you were still getting some stuff done.
Yeah. But anyway, I just had that moment today. It's we're getting ready to go on the air. And it's I hope I got my lips on.
You did. You got it all. You got it all together.
Well, it's dreary out. See, this is the part about this time of year that I don't like. I don't like dreary. I like my sunshine.
I know.
I want it to be sunshiny, and I still like it hot. I'm still a hot girl because I like my pool time. But but I need the sunshine.
But doesn't a dreary day just make you feel so cozy and you're warm inside and you're this is going to be a great day?
Yesterday was Monday, and it was really, what about that one lightning strike?
Yeah.
It shook my house.
Yeah. We had some, it was not really a big storm that went through the area. It was so weird. It was just like a boom and done, basically. It was a lot of rain, but not a lot of thunder and lightning other than that one that was wake up world.
Well, the thing about I'm glad we got the rain. I don't know how the farmers are doing with it, though, because I think it's about that time. But we needed the rain because without the rain, the leaves are just going to turn and be gone. This rain's going to give us a beautiful fall. I'm excited about that.
And
I love fall. My mums look amazing.
My mums look amazing, too.
3 of my mums are at Page's now because they're they're building a new house.
Oh, okay.
And they'll be in the new house coming up here, so their house is fixing to go on the market. So, and Paige is not a flower person.
Oh, okay. So
I took some of my mums over and took it over there. Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah.
I had the crazy kids yesterday.
Yeah, I was in Missouri all last week for work, and I was a little nervous about coming home to my mom's. I felt like my kids and everything was taken care of, but I was worried that they wouldn't remember to water my mums.
Did they?
They did. I left a big note on the kitchen counter, and I think my mom, Debbie DeVore, she helped water my mums, and the kids, everyone pitched in, I think, and they probably might have gotten watered more than one time a day. I'm not real sure, but they look fantastic. So
really,
thanks, Mom.
I've been seeing all these. Oh my gosh, these reels and stuff that come on Facebook. All these Halloween hacks.
Yes.
Dollar Tree Halloween hacks. It's amazing. And they were talking about
what you're gonna say.
The mums were she soaked she put the mums and she soaked them. And how do you keep your mums beautiful? Do they like to be watered from the bottom? Because I don't. I just dump water on top of it. But this lady's got like this ginormous like pool, little kiddie pool. And she's like, oh, before you put your mums out, sit them in here and leave them in this pool of water for like 30 minutes.
I don't think you have to do that if you buy your mums from like one of our local nurseries because they are so healthy.
They're amazing.
But I would, if you bought them at like Walmart, I might maybe do that.
Yeah.
But no, I water the heck out of my mums. Like I don't just give them a little drink. Like I stand there with the hose for a minute or two because my mums are big. And I took a landscaping class once and they said for every foot high that the plant is how many minutes you should water it.
Oh.
So my mums are at least a foot or a foot and a half maybe tall. And so I stand there with each mum for a minute to a minute and a half and I water the crap out of it.
Really?
Can I say that on TV?
I think you can.
I think I can. I just did.
But yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I water mine. I don't overwater mine though. I water mine long enough to once the water starts maybe coming out the bottom, then I stop. Mine look good. I want to go out and get. I want to go out and get one of them. Another great big one. I needed one more great Bigfoot. My big one because I just said Bigfoot because you know what I got for my birthday?
A Bigfoot?
A Bigfoot.
You did? Where are you putting it? At the pool?
No, he's not. No, that's what I'm saving that for my dolphin. Okay. I'm obsessed. I love the Bigfoot statues. I think they're hysterical. And my birthday was on the 21st, and I came home, and there's a little, not like the ginormous one, but he stands pretty tall. I mean,
he's a baby Bigfoot.
He's a baby Bigfoot, but he's got the cutest little face. He's like,
where are you putting him?
Well, you know, like when you're looking at my house and like the garage is over here in the sunroom, then and then it wraps around to go to the east side, right there underneath that red tree, that little red tree that I'm thinking he's going to go right there.
Yep,
so
right up front.
Everybody,
yes.
We got to paint him though. He's not painted.
And you need to name him. I suggest letting one of the grandkids name him. That would be funny.
Well, it is because Jim, I love aliens. Okay. So Jim got me an alien, and he's out by the pool.
Right.
I want to get a dolphin. I like all of this concrete stuff, and but I let Jack name my alien. You know what he named him?
You told me, but I've forgotten.
Meatball Head. Yeah,
Meatball Head.
So I don't know if I really want Jack to name my. I will throw that out there today when he comes home from school.
Yeah.
I'll ask him what they want to name.
Kidding. Yeah. Well, you should let JoJo name the Sasquatch since Jack named the alien.
Yeah, I'll see what she wants to name. Yeah. It could be interesting. But yeah, Meatball Head is my alien.
Yeah.
I love that alien. He's like got the peace sign.
He's cute.
He's holding an American flag.
Yeah. Cute alien.
Why would you? I have the weird. People have to drive by my house. Go. What in
the world?
What
Who lives there? Well, now we know. If you drive by a house, and you see all this weird stuff. It's her.
Yeah, I like all that weird stuff. I do want to get a big dolphin though, but
yeah,
I got my mom's. I just went blank. Oh, pelicans. My mom had 2 pelicans down in her house in Florida. They're under the stairs, right there by the pool. So I brought them home, and I'm thinking. But the kids and I, on Mondays, we'll go out, and we'll buy just those little $20, and we paint them. We do. That's our little arts and crafts. And we paint them.
Carissa used to love to do stuff like that.
Yeah, we paint them. But I'm not going to lie, because they're like, and I'm like, no, because my OCD kicks in.
Yeah.
But we've painted.
You want them to paint it, but you want them to paint it your way.
Well, duh. Yes. Yes. So, they're like, I'm like, oh, paint this, not like that. I'm like, and
then as soon as they leave,
they leave, I fix it because we've got a frog out there and we've got a turtle. We're fixing to paint Sasquatch. I don't know, but Sasquatch is going to be tan and brown and black. So I mean, maybe they can't.
Yeah,
mess that up. But anyway, okay. So I have an unusual ad.
Okay, what do you got?
This ad is from the 50s.
Okay,
well, it's kind of racist.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
I just found this it's a Van Heusen shirts. Okay, let's see. Okay, the one on top. Fashion's new favorite. Van Ron color in Oxford cloth. New soft, blah, 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 whatever he says. Then he's got, I can't hardly see this because it's blurry. Then he's got the next man with the pipe, the blue one. The cuffs the thing. Van Roll button down spread in Oxford. Okay. Carves firm neck to collar point. Then you got the next little guy. College and alumni traditions. Buttoned down in Oxford clothes. Casual, yet always dressy. Then you've got this guy right here. Rumor has it that even he would gladly swap his boar's tooth for a Van Housen Oxford.
Oh, jeez.
And then the last guy, the look on his face.
Uh-huh.
Style sensation, Van roll collar in Oxford clothes. Rolls and spreads for a more casual look. Van Heusen, 4 out of 5 men want Oxfords in these new Van Heusen styles.
Okay, so
Van
4 out of 5 want them, but the one from Africa or somewhere definitely isn't wearing one.
Van Heusen, the world's smartest shirts.
I don't even see much of a difference between any of these shirts other than the tan one has a different collar.
Yeah, that's it.
But everything else, they all look like the same shirt.
They're just marketing them differently, but I just thought that it was like, I'm not going to lie, whenever I came on racist ads from the 50s, I had to click and see what was going on. But yeah, and I saw that.
That wouldn't fly today.
Oh my God. Rumor has it that even he would gladly swap his boar's teeth for a Van Heusen. Van Heusen? Yeah.
There used to be a Van Heusen shop at Tuscola. It might be one of the few that's left there. There's not very many left in that outlet mall, but there's
Jim,
a couple.
I love that outlet mall.
You know, malls in general. Why did they all have to go away? I mean, I get it. Young people shop online. That helped put them out. But also, like, I was in Kansas City this past week and went through a really nice shopping area. The kids needed a few things for school, so I was looking. And it took me to this nice mall, but basically it was a mall. All the stores were in a row, but there was no interior hallway because malls are dead. Like there's very few malls out there that still have an interior hallway that are like full of stores. And so like all of the new ones, like here we were in the city, it was all of the stores that you would usually see in a shopping mall. Mm-hmm. But instead, they were all just facing outward and had their own entrances. They were all in a huge row, a great big long row that went. Were
you inside one large building though?
No, they were all connected. They looked like they were all connected, but once you went into one, you couldn't enter the one next door from that store. They're all their own entrance and exit, but they were just all in a row, kind of like a strip mall. But a newer, upscale. It didn't have the feel of like Dollar General. Like they were taller. They had like really fancy stores in them, like Lululemon, which is really popular right now with the younger girls, and then it had like sporting goods, and it had a Hallmark Gold Crown, but it just had like had a Kohl's, had a Target, had an Old Navy, had a Buckle. Buckle's one that you usually see inside of a mall. Nope, it had its own storefront, and it was just like they were all in a row. It was just everything that you would find.
That's weird. In
a regular shopping mall, except there was it's like the new mall.
The new thing.
The new mall is just a glorified strip mall.
I'll tell you what, that Tuscola Outlet Mall I loved. Mm-hmm. When I was educating for Paul Mitchell, I did that for 10 years, and that would always be my stopping point. We'd go up on Sunday, educate on Sunday and Monday. We'd go up on Saturday. That was always a stopping point for me. I loved that mall.
I loved it too.
Loved it.
It was in its heyday when my girls were little, and I bought so many of their clothes from Oshkosh and Carter's.
Oh yeah, my boys loved the Big Dog store. That Big Dog, that run with the Big Dog. They love that.
Yep.
Yeah, I miss all that too.
I miss malls. I really do. I'm a mall girl.
But I prefer the outlet malls though, because I drive, go in and out, drop them packages off.
Right.
And then move to the next one. Because like a mall like St. Clair, if I go to St. Clair, it's like I know my path, because I always park was Famous Barb at Macy's, and I know which store I go in, and then I make my way down here, and then I buy on my way back.
Right.
Or I make Jim take stuff back to the car.
Yeah. Right.
But anyway, we're going to take a commercial break, and we will be back with our topic for today.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we've got a show today. We're going to talk a little bit about time, not time travel, but time. But
I do love time travel.
Oh, I love anything with time travel. Yeah, which Outlander should be coming back.
Yeah,
sometime soon. But anyway, I've got a bunch of hometown journal papers that I got from when Paula Cooper, my good friend, her mother Pat passed away, and Pat kept everything, and I found a whole box full of papers, so they've been great. I love the Hometown Journal.
Me too.
And anyway, this paper is from Wednesday, January 24th, 2001. So what are we talking here? 23 years ago? Is that right? Do the math.
Trying to think where I was in 2001. I was probably the one that typed that thing up.
You probably were. 2001, I don't even know what was happening.
I was there.
How old were my boys? Well, Mac would have been 10. Mac would have been 10. Connor would have been 7. I was probably losing my mind. Okay, but we came across this Bill Cheney real estate listing. So we thought it would be interesting with as crazy as everything is today. We're going to just like every week give you a little something here. Okay, new listing. Now 2001, Beth.
What was the date in 2001?
January 24th.
Okay. Yeah, I was definitely there in 2001. That's where I was on 9/11.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now you're going to guess the price. I didn't tell you this one.
Oh, okay.
New listing, 40 acres, privacy with plenty of hunting and fishing.
Sounds good.
Plus a neat, rustic, 2-bedroom home and garage. Resort atmosphere, 18 acres wooded, 22 tillable rocked paths, picnic areas, stocked pond, southwest of Xenia.
Okay, so today's market, it would probably go for $500,000.
In 2001.
But 2001, I'm going to say
40 acres.
I'm going to say $100,000.
$62,000, you guys.
That's awesome. Congratulations to whoever bought that property in 2001 for $65,000 and now has it paid for and is enjoying it and has sitting on property that's worth $500,000.
$62,000. 2-bedroom house.
Did it give
with
an address?
Garage.
It just said south of Xenia.
Nope, it said south of Xenia.
Okay.
Yes.
Holy cow.
40 acres, stocked ponds.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Okay.
Crazy.
You know what I miss?
No, I miss a lot of things.
I miss a lot of things, but when I came across this one, this is I miss the time and temperatures.
Oh yes.
Why was I? Well, you go by First National Bank.
Yeah, the corner bank.
The corner bank, and they always had their time and temperature
on the big clock.
I don't know why that was so great for me.
Well, probably because you worked downtown. You saw it. You just depended on it.
Well, this time, no, I would have been over at Clay City.
Oh. Yeah. Well, at that time, I worked downtown.
Yeah, you worked downtown.
I actually did look at it on a daily basis.
Every time I drove by, I love time and temperatures. And then, then you had Save More came in and that came back. And then Pip and Kate's got that sign now. Which she advertises.
No, they don't have it anymore.
But they don't have it anymore. Oh, is that hanging down? Oh,
it's
that's
gone.
right. She did get rid of that, didn't she?
There's not one downtown at this time. But I will say, for those young people that are watching the show, or even for the older people that just don't remember, but 2001, I had a cell phone in 2001, but it was attached to my car, and it was in my car.
Oh, my gosh. So, I loved those things.
Also, nobody wore a watch. I mean, a lot of people wore a watch. I didn't wear a watch. So I didn't have a watch. I didn't have a cell phone on me. So back then, if you wanted to know what time it was, you just had to find a clock.
I always felt like I loved that time. I'll never forget when I had a bag phone in my car, and it was like a handheld. I mean, I felt like I was one of Charlie's angels. Hello, angel, you know. But when mine would ring, my horn would go.
What?
Yeah, it was hooked up. So like if I was inside somewhere, somebody called me. My horn would go off.
Oh, that's funny.
So, but you picked it up, and it was like what you off at home. What kids don't even know what that is anymore. Like the big. And when Jim took that bag phone away from me, I thought I was going to die when cell phones came out.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't take my bag phone from me. He's like, well, it doesn't do me any good unless you're in the car.
Yeah.
And he made me get a real cell phone.
Yes.
I was so destroyed over that.
Well,
my grandfather was one of the first people to ever have a phone.
Oh, really?
In his car. My grandpa, Roy Franklin, was a oil man. And my grandpa and my grandpa's phone actually was like on his Cadillac. He had it mounted.
Yeah, that's how mine was too.
It was right there. But my grandpa was one of the first ones to ever have a.
I was too.
And his horn would go off too.
So my dad at the time worked for the cell phone company. He worked for Wabash, but he was at the ITA office, which was the Alltel AT&T dealer at the time. So I always had the very best, latest, greatest cell phone. Mine was mounted on my dash. It was real fancy.
Mine was not. Mine was just a bag phone. But yeah, I think my grandpa. I remember, like I said, I started my shop in 1987, and he would always be because it was in that big old that beautiful building over there in Maysville, basically, is where my grandparents are sitting now, but Maysville was the time. He owned that, and my mom, there was a liquor store in the front of the building, and then my little shop was in the back in 87, and my grandfather's oil company was in the same room. And it was so funny because Grandpa pulled right up there, and we're talking in 87, the ginormous Cadillac with the doors you can't hardly open, took up the whole parking lot, and he would always pull right up there, and he would always have Granny call him because it'd go like, what? Like, yeah, it was large.
That's funny.
But anyway, so
we're talking about time and temperature.
Yes. So I didn't realize this, but this is kind of a neat little article. Bill Oliver wrote it. Okay. The time and temperature sign was installed in the front of the corner of the First National Bank building in downtown Flora and began informing citizens on Wednesday, November 21st. What year do you think that happened?
I can see it, so I can't lie.
Oh, boo.
It's 1962.
Abby? Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Abby.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
It's in the headline, so it's big. I can see it.
Shoot.
Yeah, I can't read any of the little print, but that 1962 is big.
Funny.
So
the sign, which has been in operation ever since, flashed the time and hours and minutes and current temperature every 10 seconds in figures formed by electric bulbs. Hey, Ty, show that picture. This is what this looked like. See, there it is.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
That doesn't, now, if you walk by that building now, that doesn't look like the First National Building. Of course, we're looking at it like if you were standing on the other side of the corner, which is Phil Wiley's real estate.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the lady that ran into the building would have went just right to the right of that pole. It's right there.
So for those that aren't from here, recently there was a woman that crashed into that building with her car. That's what Stacey's referring to.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was terrifying. But look at the super cool cars in there.
Yes.
Pedestrians and motorists within 4 blocks of the building and main intersection of town could learn the prevailing temperature and exact time through the sign's flashing numerals. In other cities throughout the country, the double TT, time and temperature signs, had been receiving tremendous response from the public as they fulfilled the needed service. The double TT time and temperature sign was regarded as an extremely complex and delicate mechanism. Now, is that actual sign still there?
That one? No.
I mean... No,
because it wasn't even called First National Bank. I mean,
it's been a lot of things, but did they just, but is that the, I mean, I wonder what happened to that original sign.
I do not know what happened to any of the original signage downtown.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, I don't think it's the same.
Yeah, because that even when it was U.S. Bank and all those, that sign's completely gone, isn't it?
I think it's still hanging there. It just doesn't work.
Okay. Maybe we need to bring that back. Maybe we need to tell the Masons.
Maybe the Masons need to just turn it on.
The Masons need to turn it on. Here we go.
If you're a Mason and you're watching this and you have anything to do with that organization in Flora,
turn that back on.
Turn that puppy back on. We want it back.
That's right. Every 24-hour period, the unit gives 17,280 readings. You know, you don't think about that, do you?
Mm-mm.
Time accuracy to the minute is assured through the use of self-correcting synchronous motors within the unit. Temperature accuracy to within a degree is sustained through electronic measurement of the temperature. An official U.S. Weather Bureau type cage is located atop the bank building where sun and wind have no effect on it. I didn't know that.
Oh, well, I wonder if it's still done like that or if now it's just a digital thing that's, I don't know.
I bet it's digital now.
But so they had a thing on the roof, you're saying, that would send the temperature.
Yep.
Collect the temperature and send it to signal that sign what the temperature was.
This is pretty good for 1962, don't you think?
Yes.
Even the possibility of power failure was automatically taken care of by special standby equipment. Behind perforated screens of the time and temperature unit are 184 25-watt bulbs, 112 silver contact control lamps, 4 electric motors, get this, and 8,400 feet of electric wire.
Wow.
I had no idea.
I didn't know it was such a
Me neither.
contraption, really.
The
I guess I didn't think about what made it go.
Well,
Like,
me
how
neither. No, that's why this story is fun to talk about because who knew?
Not me.
The 18-inch high numerals flash on a 58-inch by 24-inch screen, with an electronic brain selecting the lamps necessary to show the proper readings. The First National Bank was the first banking institution in Florida to offer this public service, and since it went into operation, became the talk of the town for many weeks. Residents still rely on the information provided by this 38-year-old flashing information provider. Of course, this article was written in 2001 by Bill Oliver. Yeah. Time and temperature, 1962. Who knew, though, that was so...
Yeah, thanks, Ty.
Thank you, Ty.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was just so...
Right. I didn't know the science behind it.
Me neither.
Like, I never had thought about it. Like, how does it know what the temperature is? Like, I guess I just thought there was like a mercury thing.
Sure.
Just reread it. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was very interesting.
So you know what I miss?
What?
And what young people today would probably be like, what? You did what? Why? You remember the time and temperature phone line?
I was just getting ready to mention that.
You could call
What
the bank.
the heck?
And I think the number, I'm not, don't quote me on this, but it's like it was 662-86666 or 8886 or something like that.
It was
wasn't
something weird. What happened
And-
to that?
I don't know. Maybe it's still there. I don't know. But like you would just call, for those that aren't familiar with this, and you just dial that number and it would be like, hello, the current time is 9:52 a.m.
Yeah.
And the current temperature is 76 degrees Fahrenheit.
AI at its best.
Yeah, and be like,
How cool.
thank you. Now I know how to
Thank you.
dress for today.
Right?
Like, yeah,
That was-
I use that all the time.
Abby, how old are you? Did you even know that existed?
Abby is 21. She never knew that existed. That is how I would check the weather before I got
Yep.
ready in the morning
To go to
to
school.
know what to wear. Because either if my mom wasn't around to tell me, like, hey, today's going to be really cold, you might want to wear a coat. Otherwise, I had no idea because I didn't watch the weather.
Oh, I never watched the weather. I still don't to this day.
still don't watch the weather.
I don't to this day.
I have
but yeah,
enough people in my life that are obsessed with the weather that they just tell me what's happening.
I remember calling time and temperature, and I remember that because like a lot of times on scary movies, it would like, oh my gosh, the killer would be like, oh, I'll call for help, blah 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 blah, and then no help would come, and then she'd do redial and be the time and temperature is, and she'd go, da da da, he didn't call for help, now I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So
I can
weird.
remember also, like,
Such
if you
weird-
needed to pretend that you were on the phone with somebody, you could call time and temp and be like, yeah, of course,
Oh my
yeah.
God!
And they'd be like, oh,
yes.
she's on the phone. She can't
Yeah.
talk right now. It's like, no, it's just talking
Yeah.
to time and temp.
We need to bring time and temperature back too.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, but nobody.
But nobody would use it because everybody has their cell phone in their hand.
I know.
And it tells you the time and it tells you the temperature.
I know. Well, we're going to take a commercial break.
So, okay.
And we will be right back.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank. We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we've been talking all about time and temperature, and I just thought it would be kind of interesting to dive into how did people keep time before the time and temperature thing on the corner, or way back.
Way back when?
Like way back.
How
Like,
did
how
Paul
did they know?
Ingalls? How did Paul Ingalls?
How did Paul Ingalls
They
keep
would have had
time?
watches.
Yeah, I think he
everybody
had.
would have
I
had
think
a
he had a
watch.
stopwatch.
Yeah.
Not like a stopwatch, but what do they call that? A watch chain, like when it's on a
Yeah.
little. I think he had one of those because I think I actually saw it when I went to the museum in Mansfield, Missouri.
You did.
I did.
Did you
I've
like-
been there a few times.
Did you
Believe
just
it or
drool
not.
over it?
I didn't drool over it, but it's neat. I mean,
I
it's neat to see stuff like that,
Yeah.
and you're like, gosh, he really was a real person, and he
Yeah.
really owned this stuff. You
Yeah.
know, it's just kind of cool for me. But
Well, we're historians, of course.
we are historians. We love
like that
museums
stuff.
full of stuff like that,
Yeah.
and.
So what do you got for me?
Well, I've got a lot. I mean, I started researching this, and it was just like, how far back do you want to go? You want to go back to the beginning of time? I don't know
do.
how Adam and Eve did it. I don't.
They
But
probably
they
didn't
probably
care.
didn't care. But timekeeping devices date back to ancient civilizations.
Okay.
So when you guys think of how did they keep time back then, you're all screaming at the TV, sundials, sundials. They used sundials because they did. I mean, that's one thing that we know of. Sundials and water clocks were used in ancient Egypt by the Babylonians, the Greeks, the Chinese. All these ancient civilizations were using.
Water clocks.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a minute.
Okay, so you've lost me.
But a lot of them that, like before that, they just watched the sun and the moon.
Right.
Because you can tell a lot from that. So lunar phases were used to mark shorter periods of time. There was a group called the Uraldi of South Australia, and they are one of the few people recorded as having a way to measure time during the day, which was divided into 7 parts using the position of the sun. So they basically watched the sun, divided that into 7 segments of where the sun was.
So they had to do
And
math?
Yes.
I would have never known what time it was. I don't like math.
So the first devices that were used to measure the position of the sun were not sundials, although they were kind of a predecessor. I don't know how to say that. Shadow clocks. And then they developed into the sundial. So the oldest known sundial dates back to 1200 BC. And it was they actually discovered one in an excavation of the Valley of the Kings in 2013. Can you imagine finding that?
No.
Holy cow.
Gosh.
That would be so cool. So there's actually in the Bible, there is a section that talks about a sundial. It is 2 Kings 29 through 11. And it is when Hezekiah, the king of Judea, is recorded as being healed by the prophet Isaiah and asks him for a sign that he would recover. And this is the Bible passage. It says, "And Isaiah said, This sign shalt thou have of the Lord, that the Lord will do the thing that he hath spoken. Shall the shadow go forward 10 degrees, or go back 10 degrees? And Hezekiah answered, It is a light thing for the shadow to go down 10 degrees. Nay, but let the shadow return backward 10 degrees. And Isaiah the prophet cried unto the Lord, and he brought the shadow 10 degrees backward, by which it had gone down in the dial of Ahaz." Anyway, so yeah, that was they had a sundial in the
had a
Bible.
sundial.
Okay, so that part was interesting. But what's a water clock?
Yeah, I don't know. Never heard of a
Yeah,
water
I
clock.
hadn't heard of a water clock either. And this is it says the oldest description of a clepsydra water clock is another name for that, is from the tomb inscription of an early 18th dynasty Egyptian court official named Amenemhet, who is identified as an inventor. So he's probably the guy that invented it. And way back, like 1500 BC, Amenemhet, the Egyptian. And it is assumed that the object described on the inscription is a bowl with markings to indicate the time. The oldest surviving water clock was found in the tomb of the pharaoh Amenhotep, and there are no recognized examples in existence of outflowing water clocks. Okay, so there's not really any still around. And then it traveled to China. The Chinese kind of started doing it. Then the Greeks. Okay, I've read this article about water clocks like several times now. I still am not going to give you a solid answer of how it worked because I'm not sure that they really even understand exactly how it worked. But here we go. Okay.
Interesting.
So a problem with most clepsydrae or water clocks was the variation in the flow of water due to the change in fluid pressure. Okay, so it had to do with the pressure of the water in the bowl at certain times and what marking it was hitting. So there was markings all over the inside of this big bowl, like a bowl that's like this big around and like probably 2 or 3 feet tall, and all these markings in it. And somehow it didn't stay level throughout the day. It moved. There was some kind of pressure that made it move.
That's
and I don't
like
know
the ocean almost.
Yes.
I mean, the moving the tide.
Yes, and I don't.
Bowl. Interesting.
I don't understand it. I haven't gotten. I don't know. Later on, Ty, Google a picture of water clock.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what that is.
Later on, they made some advancements to it and became more sophisticated with innovations such as gongs and moving mechanisms were included. There is strong evidence that the first century Tower of the Winds in Athens once had a water clock. But I don't know. It included later. Included both segmental. Segmental and elliptical gearing. This is a later one where they employed a conical style. See if you can find another picture, Ty.
That's interesting. Looking right there.
The early ones looked like a planter, like you would put a bunch of mums in, but that's made out of limestone.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, there we go. That one there on the right, the big round one.
Oh my goodness!
That one.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I never heard of these, didn't know a darn thing about them.
Wow.
Okay, now we're going to switch gears and we're going to go to the next type of clock that came along in our societies of the world, and that was incense clocks. These were used in China. The incense clocks. I'm not a big incense fan. I know some people love them, but they had different scents of incense inside the clock, and it was layered in a way that they knew each scent would burn for about an hour. So you knew what time it was by how the room smelled. So it would burn. You might be burning jasmine. Well, about 9 o'clock, they knew that the first scent would be gone. And then maybe at 9 or whatever time it was, another hour starts a different scent. And then that one burns for an hour, and it just keeps, incense just slowly burns down, and then
it's like, vanilla, I'm late.
Crap. It smells like vanilla. I got to get going. I was supposed to already be there before the vanilla hit.
The strawberry ended. It's vanilla.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, that's kind of interesting. And you said that's
the Chinese did that. Mm-hmm.
That's Asian.
Yep. They started the Chinese.
How weird is that?
I know. And then later came astrolabes. I honestly don't know if I'm saying that right. Phonetically, that's how it looks. And that was a lot more sophisticated. It was basically an early watch, and it had geared mechanisms. The first ones were built in Persia. It has gears. It's like the very first watches that had some kind of ticking gear in it. It's called an astrolabe. Okay, and then later they had candle clocks, which they knew if they made
It burned
it
down.
after it got to a certain point.
Now, see, that makes sense to me.
Uh-huh.
That makes more sense to me than any of them.
Later came hourglasses. You think about
I
that
love
being,
hourglasses.
Hourglasses can be really pretty.
They're beautiful.
But I mean, there's so much here. But this is an important part. The mainspring was invented in the early 15th century. So this is the device it was first used in guns, in the locks and flint locks and guns, was this mainspring. But that is what allowed the clocks as we know it to be built for the first time. It needed a mainspring. Okay, so that happened in the 15th century that they finally figured out this.
So
way
basically,
to build
the clocks that we know today with the actual time was in the 1400s, the 15th century.
Yep.
I wonder who does it say who was the very first person to have one? What king? What king would have been around? It's not Henry VIII because he was in the 1500s.
There is a fusee in the early. Oh, here's the earliest surviving spring-driven clock was a chamber clock made for Philip the Good in circa 1430. Okay, now this is a name we've all heard of. Leonardo da Vinci produced the earliest known drawings of a pendulum in 1493 and 1494 and illustrated one of these fusees or mainsprings for the clocks in circa 1500. 25 years after the first spring was invented.
So basically the year 1430.
Then later came clock towers. In the late 1400s, early 1500s. And these clock towers, they were kind of like our time and temperature. Like they did a lot more than just tell you kind of what time of day it was. They measured in seconds as well. And they also had I think where they showed seasons and... let me find that line.
One of the neatest...
Longitude. I mean, there was all kinds of things that they could do. Latitude and longitude. It was...
When we were in Germany, we were in Munich, and Germany is a beautiful country. And, what was neat about Munich is, the outside was, this hustling, bustling city, metropolis. But then you'd take a subway, and you would go underground. And when you came back up through there, you were in the original old town.
Oh,
so they preserved that, and there's a ginormous wall because you're around this crazy city, honk honk, and all this stuff, and then you see this ginormous wall surrounding the original old town in Munich. And so anyway, we came back, and when you come in, it's like you just step back in the beginning of Germany.
Wow! And
it was crazy, and they had one of their original courthouse type thing or whatever. And every hour, it was the cutest thing. It'd just be dong.
Oh.
To whatever the hour was. If it was, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it would just dong so many times. And then the top part would just open up, and these little girl and boys, and then it would push this thing out. There were 4 of them, and then they would spin, and they would sing a song, and it would be the song play, and they would be mechanical, and then when that was done. Then it would just pull it back in, and the door would shut on them. Yeah, it was the coolest thing of all my travels.
Where
that I've
were
ever
you
been.
at?
Munich, Germany.
Yeah, the German. So the whole Black Forest area of Germany is known for those cuckoo clocks.
No, I love them.
And I have one hanging in my kitchen, and it has some little dancers that spin around and dance when it goes off. And the cuckoo comes out in cuckoos, but then all the dancers start.
These were 4 little. I can just see them. They were all blonde. They were. Oh my gosh! It was just of all my travels, and I've been to a lot of different places.
You need a cuckoo clock.
I don't have one, and I can't believe back in the day. What I came home? Well, this is the difference. I remember this was in the 90s. I did bring back a beer stein, an original beer stein that's really super cool. But I regret. Not getting it. I'll go back to Germany. Germany's back on my hit list.
Well, here's the thing. It's 2024, and you can buy them here.
No, I won't.
They're antique from Germany.
Okay.
There, you got to look at the next time we go antiquing, girl.
Okay.
That's what you're looking for.
I am. So you don't think I need to just go back over to Germany and buy one?
I think that it would probably be more cost efficient to just pick one up at an antique store here.
Yeah, I am going to be looking for that.
And our favorite antique store is in Evansville that Stacey and I like to go to on Route 41, way down almost to Kentucky. But it's on that end of town. But right behind it is a clock store. That is where I had to take my cuckoo clock because when I bought it, it wasn't working. Cuckoo clocks are not made like other clocks. It's very balanced. It's very,
yeah.
and this guy, he had it for about what seemed like forever before he finally fixed it. But he did get it back to me, and he did a good job. But he has a whole bunch of antique cuckoo clocks in there.
We're going there.
And they would probably already be running.
Well,
there you go.
We're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to discuss me and you going back to get me a cuckoo clock. We'll be right back.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Pegel's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pegel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
Give me order lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we're talking all about timekeeping and how to tell the time back in the day and the time and temperature.
It's like we went backwards. We didn't go from the oldest to the newest. We went from our first national bank, 1962.
Yeah, but that's just how we roll.
I like traveling
We're not
back
always
in time.
chronological, but who cares?
I don't want to be chronological.
Okay, so I'm ready to talk about pendulum clocks.
They're beautiful.
I love pendulum clocks. Like the whole movement is like I could probably be easily
hypnotized
because I like watching the movement. But I've always liked a good grandfather clock. Yeah, my Aunt Lori and Uncle Tim always had a grandfather clock in their house. I always thought it was so cool.
Jim's grandma Cabay had a grandfather clock. Denise ended up getting that when she passed away. They're beautiful.
They are, and that clock shop in Evansville has a bunch of those too. I don't have room for a grandfather clock, or I'd totally have one.
My house is chock full right now.
Yeah, I have no room.
I can find a place for a cuckoo clock.
Yeah, I need to build a bigger house because I'm out of room.
Okay.
So let's see. These were maybe the first truly accurate timekeepers was a pendulum clock. And it depended on the phenomenon known as harmonic motion, in which the restoring force acting on an object moved away from its equilibrium position, which would be the middle, such as a pendulum or an extended spring, and then acts to return that object. So this whole movement back and forth became very accurate for timekeeping. So this was also like when they discovered this, and they called these harmonic oscillators. So at the time they didn't call them pendulum, this movement. They just said harmonic oscillators. This was the most productive era in timekeeping. So this was where a ton of clocks were just suddenly put out, and they became common in businesses and homes, and suddenly, everyone had a way to kind of keep track of time. Early versions aired by less than 1 minute per day, and later versions aired by only 10 seconds. I mean, that's almost as accurate as your phone, as your cell phone. That's pretty darn accurate.
That is kind of neat.
To only be off 10 seconds a day. Yeah. I mean, in the early days, less than a minute, but still, that's close enough for me.
Isn't that something?
Dials that showed minutes and seconds became common after the increase in accuracy made possible by the pendulum clock. Let's see. The pendulum clock outperformed all other kinds of mechanical timekeepers to such an extent that these were usually refitted with a pendulum. So it's very hard to find any timekeeping devices before the pendulum that don't have a pendulum because they went back and they fixed all their other clocks and they added pendulums to them. So I think if you were a clock collector and you found an old clock that didn't have one of these, it would be like a real find.
Right.
Because most were refitted with pendulums.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a lot of technical stuff about pendulum clocks there that nobody's going to care about. Let's see.
We just think they're pretty. We don't really.
Yeah.
Just the basic info is all we need.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of technical stuff about them. After that came the marine chronometer.
I had no idea all this existed.
Yeah, there was a naval disaster in 1707 called the Scilly Naval Disaster, in which 4 ships were wrecked as a result of navigational mistakes. The British government offered a prize of $20,000. That's equivalent to millions of dollars today, for anyone who could determine the longitude to within 50 kilometers, that's 31 miles, at a latitude just north of the equator. The position of a ship at sea could be determined within 100 kilometers if a navigator could refer to a clock that lost or gained less than about 6 seconds per day. So they started getting all these proposals of people that were inventors that were trying to claim the prize. But there was a Yorkshire man. He was a clockmaker named Jeremy Thacker. And he first used the term chronometer in a pamphlet published in 1714. And then there was another.
Where did he come up with that word?
I don't know. He's an inventor, man. He invents his own words.
I wish I was an inventor.
I actually am an inventor.
I wish I was.
I invented something, and it's not on the market yet. I can't share it with you because I don't want anyone to steal my idea.
Okay. Is it something good, or is it going to be like, oh, that's already out there?
It's kind of already out there in a way, but I'm repurposing it.
Okay. Okay. Oh,
I'm going to be a millionaire. Hang on.
I don't even know.
Just let me get it fixed and get it out there on the market, and maybe you can buy Sailor Springs with all the money I'm going to be
that would be great.
Raking in.
That would be awesome.
Okay. In 1715, at the age of 22, there was a man named John Harrison, and he used his carpentry skills to construct a wooden 8-day clock. His clocks had innovations that included the use of wooden parts to remove the need for cleaning, rollers, and all kinds of stuff. Let's see. He traveled to London to seek assistance from the Board of Longitude in making a sea clock, and he was financed, and anyway, he was one of the ones that helped make this chronometer happen. Now, when we were antiquing in New Harmony last month, there was something that I think was probably a chronometer. I didn't know what it was, but this antique shop had all this stuff from old ships. Did you see that?
I did see that, yeah.
And it was like a real fancy way of like figuring out where you were, and one was a real fancy clock.
I remember seeing it, yeah.
And it was like approximately like $6,000 or $7,000. Remember that? It was like right on the corner of a desk that we walked by, and I thought, oh, what a neat old clock. And I looked at the price tag, and I was like, for somebody, not me.
$6,000, yeah. Maybe
I mean, but it would have to be a collector. I bet it was one of these really old chronometers.
You know, it makes okay. I got to ask a question because it's on my mind. Okay, why back in the day, whenever somebody died, they stopped the clock?
I guess to know the time. I guess to know the time of death.
Huh? I always wondered about that because it's very evident, like in fried green tomatoes.
That's what I was thinking of too.
I love fried green tomatoes.
Tipsy goes and puts a black thing over the clocks.
Puts the thing up. Stops the
clock. Puts a black
and puts the black
because just time stops. I mean, I don't know.
I wonder why. Of course, then you open up the window so the soul can leave. Yeah, there's a lot of different. I wonder what
we could do a whole episode on that stuff, like death. We kind of did do one early in the day.
October's coming.
Yeah,
we'll do weird stuff in October.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just always wondered. There are times that they stop the clock, and but then I wonder if they like start it back. I mean, they don't just leave that
they don't leave it forever. I don't know. Maybe it's like 24 hours and then they get to restart it. I don't know.
Interesting.
So the first electric clock, what's your guess on what year that came about?
The first electric clock is going to happen in 1922.
Guess again.
1897.
It was a lot earlier than I thought. 1815.
Wait, when did what?
I don't know when electricity
When was
invented.
electricity? Ty, when was electricity invented?
It says,
What?
This is what this says. In 1815, the prolific English inventor named Francis Ronalds produced the forerunner of the electric clock. It was called the electrostatic clock.
Okay, so not the real.
It was powered with a high voltage battery.
Okay.
So it wasn't one that you plugged into the wall, but it was electricity, but in a different
when
way.
did Ben Franklin get electrocuted?
It was a high voltage battery with extremely long life, but the disadvantage of its electrical properties varying was according to the air temperature and humidity. So that affected it.
When was electricity?
1752.
Oh,
1752. Well, I guess that would have been right in that time. Ben Franklin would have got that's the whole thing. Huh.
So
I missed the boat on that.
Well, that's okay. I didn't know either. In 1840, the Scottish clockmaker, his name was Alexander Bain, he first used electricity to sustain the motion of the pendulum. So he's like, let's plug this pendulum clock in.
Why wouldn't you?
And it made it even more accurate.
My goodness.
So anyway, then after that came the development of the watch. And that was the first wristwatches were made in the 16th century. So way back, and that was for Queen Elizabeth I of England.
That's crazy.
She had an inventory of all the watches she acquired. Whole inventory.
And what year was that?
1572.
Yep, that would have been Queen Elizabeth, Henry VIII, and Anne Boleyn's daughter.
Yeah.
I wonder whatever happened to all her watches.
Oh, they're probably in a.
They're
probably in a museum.
Yeah, I've got London's on my hit list because I love Henry VIII and I love that era.
Yeah.
I don't love him as a person. He was
kind of a jerk.
He was kind of a jerk, but that whole era is.
Oh yeah,
it's
fascinating.
It's fascinating. I love that century
for sure.
Okay, so this is a funny. We're going to end with Jack Handy.
Okay. There's no telling.
This is so
Deep
stupid.
Thoughts by Jack Handy.
When people say that the desert is lifeless, it just makes me want to grab them by the collar and yell, "Why are you so stupid?" Then I drive them out into the desert to where the circus is and point out the many forms of zebra and clown life.
I thought he was really going somewhere that time. Then he lost me.
Too.
Then he lost me, like always.
Yep.
Like, okay.
Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy.
Uh-huh. Can you imagine being married to this guy?
No, I can't.
And then him having conversations like this, and you'd be like, huh?
I bet Jack Handy's a woman.
No, somebody said they researched it, and it's really a real guy.
It's got to be a woman, because this is something like when I'm laying down and I'm thinking I'm getting ready to go to sleep, and then my 15 personalities I have start talking to each other in their head. This is what I would think in my sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Deep Thoughts. So Jack Handy's a man.
Jack Handy, yeah. Well, supposedly.
All
I don't
right,
know.
I'm not buying it. That's it.
I might have to research that. But anyway,
that's it. That's
our show for today. As always, you can find us on Wabash Channel 100 daily at 11 a.m. We're on YouTube. You can find all of our shows there. If you've missed any, they are all on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is By the Way with Beth and Stacey. And you can like and follow us on Facebook. But we will catch you next time. Thanks for joining us.
God bless you and have a great day.